I'm Debbie Jones, and I was introduced to LifeWave last March by Mary Hollingshead. I started using the patches for some back issues that I had. I have a broken disc, a herniated disc, and a bulging disc, and I had knife-like pain in my back for the past 30 years. So I started using X39 and the other patches and didn't have a whole lot of success, at least at the time. I didn't know I was. But I trusted Mary and Pastor Ed, so I continued using the patches. I became a brand partner in May just to get the patches at cost. I had no intention of doing the business. I did the 15-day severe symptom, didn't really see any major differences, but I had little things that I noticed. So I continued using the patches, and I started noticing little, I call them little mini miracles in October. Different things I noticed where I had a pain here or a pain there, it went away. So I started introducing or sharing the patches with some friends and family, and they started having some pretty good results. So in November, I went to Pennsylvania to visit my aunt. She's 95 years old, for Thanksgiving, and she wanted to go Black Friday shopping. We shopped all day and all night. When we finally got home about 10 o'clock that night, she was crying. Her leg hurt so bad. I asked, could I do something? She said no, but she kept on complaining. So about 11 o'clock, I asked her, where is the pain? She pointed to a spot on her thigh, and I put an E on there. And literally within 10 seconds, her pain went away. She asked me, what did I do? And I said, nothing. I just put a patch on. I don't know how it works, but it worked. So she was very happy. She still uses the patches and calls and tells me it really helped my back when I was standing making cookies all day. And she's asking me to send her some more patches. So in early December, I went to Florida for my nephew's 21st birthday. And my brother-in-law, Bob, was sitting there complaining about his neck. He says, it's arthritis. I said, let me patch it. He kept saying, no, it's arthritis. It's not going to work. I said, could you just let me patch it? So I just went without his permission and put a patch right on his neck, right on the spot. And he kept pushing on it and touching it, couldn't leave it alone. But about 10 minutes later, he said, Debbie, I believe you're right. This thing worked. The pain's almost gone. So he's telling my sister and my niece and everybody there, and he's moving his neck around, saying how great it was. So the next day, we went to his mom's 90th birthday, and his brother was there, obviously. His brother has bone on bone in his back, major back issues. His doctor said he needed stem cell injections because there's nothing else they could do. And the stem cell injections were $8,000 a pop. He had a 30% chance of them working, a 50% chance of them being human stem cells, and a 30% chance of having no side effects. So he wanted nothing to do with it. But Bob told him about the patches, so he started calling me Dr. Deb, laughing, and said I want to be patched. So the next day, he called me on Monday, asking where was I, because he wanted to come get patched. So he came over and I patched him, made him drink water, and he didn't really notice anything, but he left and he went to get his hair cut. He called me the next morning and he said, you made it even worse. He has electric shocks going up his legs. I said, drink more water, keep using the patches. So that night, he said it was a lot better. The next day, he came back and asked to be patched again. The third day he came back to get patched, my brother-in-law said, brother, that cost your money. Get your wallet out. So he threw a couple $100 on the table and said, give me what I need. So I gave him Eon, IceWave, and X39. I said, start using the X39 immediately. That's going to be for long term. So he used it. And of course, I checked every month. I followed up on him to place his new order. And then it was January, the end of January, early February, I was talking to him and he told me he had a new bed delivered that morning, and it was an adjustable bed. Now, I didn't know he had any problems with his bed, but he said it will be the first time he slept in a bed in over 5 years because of these patches. He had been sleeping in a recliner. So that was a major miracle to me, not a mini miracle. So things like that continued happening. So obviously in November, because of all these little things that were happening, end of November, beginning of December, I actually started my LifeWave business. I was no longer just using the patches. I now started a business. And because of all the success I had and all the people I shared with, I actually became a manager by the end of December, December 28th, I became a manager. So I was pretty happy about that because I was making money and selling patches and helping people. So then I had long-term COVID. I went to the doctors, and that's what he said, long-term COVID. I thought I had bronchitis, and he said, deal with it. There's nothing we can do. So I happened to be on a call with Dr. Christine, and someone asked her, what do you do for COVID? And she immediately said, we don't make medical claims. We can't make medical claims. But if it was me, I would do the 5-day cellular detox and then the 15-day cellular regeneration. So I did it. I started it the next day, did the detox. Within the time frame, the 20 days, all my symptoms were gone. I had no more shortness of breath, no more coughing, no more sneezing, no more watery eyes and exhaustion. It was amazing. I can't stress enough, when people say to do the 15-day cellular regeneration, always start with the detox. It's amazing. So I continued using the patches. And then another thing I noticed the beginning of February, when I thought the X39 from way back in May wasn't working, I no longer had the knife pain in my back. I didn't notice that till February, because you don't notice things that were fixed until they're no longer there, because you just are so used to it. I was blown away. I mean, literally, I've had that knife pain in my back for over 30 years, and I no longer have it. So I can't stress enough how wonderful these patches are, how I love the patches. I love my team and my LifeWave family. If you'd like more information, please follow me on any of the nodes that will be attached to this video. Reach out. I'd love to share my story and share the patches with you. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video.